Another Daniel Haqiqatjou video.
Haqiqatjou.
This one.
Was that better?
Haqiqatjou. That was good. That was good.
Was it actually?
Yeah, it was. Well, it wasn't perfect, but it was much better than before. Yeah, you can.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So this one is this one is titled "Andrew Tate will fail if he falls for this trap." Do you want to predict what this is about before we play it? Because I think I know exactly what this is about.
I mean, the title is so vague; it could be anything. It's like a mystery.
No, I know. I know. I haven't watched this video, but I think I know exactly what this is about.
Okay, Armin, bring out your skull, do your magic, and give her your prediction.
Oh, wait.
Other shoulder. There we go.
Okay. This is the what? The
Agori.
way. It's the Agori way. Okay. But okay. So I think what he's going to say is that Andrew Tate is being pressured by society to accept a liberal, westernized, watered down version of Islam because the pressure is too high. Because the version of Islam that Daniel Haqiqatjou accepts, which is the true version of Islam, to be fair, the more accurate version of Islam, is too much. It's too controversial. And Andrew Tate is starting to realize that these positions are indefensible because Daniel's Islam defends wife beating, child marriage, and is very clearly anti-gay. Anti-trans also, but I don't think Andrew Tate minds being anti-trans. Okay?
No, he said so.
Yeah. But Andrew Tate does mind being anti-gay. So Andrew Tate does not want to be anti-gay, but he's fine with being anti-trans. So I think Andrew Tate, when he keeps being interviewed, more Muslims are going to realize that this conservative Islam is not the version of Islam that he's going to be endorsing. And they hate that. They hate that because that's, for them, that's worse than us ex-Muslims, to be fair, because spreading a false version of Islam. But go on, you were going to say something.
Well, it's corruption. First of all, it's an innovation. Secondly,
yes, bid'ah.
Sorry. What was I going to say? In that interview with what's his name, Patrick Bet-David yes. on Valuetainment, Andrew Tate essentially admitted that he is a Muslim not because he believes in Allah and Allah's miracles and the truth and veracity of Muhammad's revelation from God, but for practical reasons, for pragmatic reasons, for its utility.
Exactly.
He essentially admits it, not in so many words, but when he's pressed, that is what he is articulating. This is not a deeply held belief. This is pragmatics.
Nope. Yes. So it's more than him being the slave of Allah. Allah is the slave of Andrew, to be fair, the way that he's looking at it. It's a useful tool, right? So, but let's see if I was right about what Daniel is saying.
There's another way that they can neutralize Andrew Tate. And Andrew Tate himself and his brother way that they can neutralize Andrew Tate. And Andrew Tate himself and his brother Tristan and his whole team, they need to recognize this other method of neutralization. They can neutralize Andrew Tate by turning him into a libertarian. That is the most.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I think he means liberal, not libertarian, but sure. I think that's what he means.
They can neutralize.
Really? Okay.
Andrew Tate by turning him.
Libertarian. That's an economic position. I don't think he's using the term right.
Into a libertarian.
Not necessarily.
That is the most effective way, actually, to neutralize Andrew Tate, because then he becomes a promoter of liberalism.
He means liberal. He means liberal. Why is he saying libertarian?
I guess he means left libertarian.
Yeah, but that's more about the economy. Okay, so
Yeah, exactly.
He's worried about Andrew Tate becoming a lib. He's becoming a lib.
Andrew Tate, because then he becomes a promoter of liberalism.
That's exactly what I was talking about, because that would become worse than him not even more. If Andrew Tate did not become a Muslim, that would be less damage than him becoming a Muslim and advocating a liberal, watered down Western version of it, because they're like, you know what, you're doing more damage than good now. You know, you're corrupting Islam from within.
He becomes just another Matt Walsh, Jordan Peterson, because people like Jordan.
So just to be
clear, hearing Matt Walsh described as a liberal is crazy.
Yes,
that man.
I know.
I don't like to say this, but like Michael Knowles, like Matt Walsh, these people are against liberal values. They're against free expression. They want the government to get involved. They're like Michael Knowles and Matt Walsh are like fascists.
I know,
and I don't say that lightly.
You're right. They are. But our audience has to understand, because a lot of our audience might be confused right now, because we're like, what is he talking about? He's talking about conservatives. Well, not really. For Daniel, these people are libs. Okay, so
but technically he's right. Mostly,
right.
Especially with Jordan Peterson, he's right.
Daniel is so conservative that Matt Walsh is a leftist lib for Daniel Haqiqatjou. That's what you have to understand.
That took me out. That took me out. Because here's the thing. No, Armin, you're right. Because when it comes to Jordan Peterson, he actually does. His thing is about free expression. He does promote liberal values. He has his own way of looking at religion and conservative traditional values within its own utility and hierarchy and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, many of the underlying principles do come from a liberal tradition. Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles, on the other hand, I would say do not, because they actively promote things that are the antithesis of my dearly beloved First Amendment.
But even those people still talk about certain. I mean, the fact that they defend the Constitution of the United States, which is founded based on liberal principle.
Do they?
The fact that they even talk. I mean, the fact that they act like it, at least, is too lib for this guy. I mean, the fact that they respect, I don't know, free speech and. Okay, I know this might seem like, I'm not saying that, by the way. I'm not saying these people are libs, okay, or. I'm just saying from Daniel Haqiqatjou's perspective, the fact that these people even make utilitarian arguments against trans people, for Daniel, that's too libish, because he's talking, because Daniel Haqiqatjou considers the conservative position to be anti-trans, because it's just trans, because it's just against God, it's against God's laws. So once you enter the realm of arguing, this is why trans people, why this is the reason why being trans, like accepting this is harmful for society. Like even if you enter that calculation, then you have missed the point of being a conservative. You just reject LGBT because God said so. That's all. That's all there is to it, right? That's the conservative position. So that's why he thinks that these people like Matt Walsh are playing within the framework of a liberal mindset. That's what he thinks.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. I mean, that's just one example, though. Yeah.
Jordan Peterson becomes just another Matt Walsh, Jordan Peterson, because people like Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, like these are all controlled opposition. These figures
controlled opposition
are completely on board with the LGBT agenda. They are just, a few years behind in what they're promoting. This is how they're
a few years behind in what they're promoting. Because I think this is what I understand what he's trying to work. So when he says they're a few years behind in what they're promoting, he says, like, for example, Matt Walsh would say that, I don't know, a trans person can't be a trans man is not a man, for example, okay? Because a trans woman cannot be a woman because it can't give birth, okay? A trans woman cannot be a woman because look at her. Obviously, she's not a woman. That's what
chromosomes. They're biological essentialists.
Yes, but he says, well, that's Daniel will say that's basically opening the door to accepting trans people, because modern medicine will eventually get to the point where they're biological. Like if you are a trans woman, you will have a vagina, you will be able to give birth, you will become biologically identical to a woman. So he's saying that as a Muslim, I would understand that that's still not okay. Even if you could make all the harms, if you could get rid of all the harms with modern medicine, she was a man. She was born a man, and she will always be a man. That's Daniel will use different vocabulary, but you know what I mean, right? But the way Matt Walsh is arguing for the reasons why he's against it, eventually modern medicine will be able to figure out how to remove all of that harm.
Address those contentions. Versus Daniel is saying it is against God's creation, period.
It's inherently evil. So he's saying all the problems that Jordan Peterson have, all the problems that Ben Shapiro has, all the problems that Matt Walsh has with trans people, modern medicine will be able to resolve those problems at some point. And so if you have bought into those arguments, eventually you will be defeated, because now you can't say anything. Now they have figured out how to not have any of those harms. But he said, don't jump on that bandwagon. You have to stay what Daniel is saying. This is just wrong. We're not talking harm reduction. This is just wrong. It's just wrong. That's all there is to it. Because if you stay on Daniel's argument, once modern medicine removes all this harm, now you're not going to be disarmed because you have nothing else left to say. So he's saying these are controlled opposition because they're just a few years behind into making it completely acceptable to be trans. That's what he's saying.
I don't know if that's completely true, because Matt Walsh.
Oh, of course it's not true. It is insane. He's insane.
No.
I'm not saying he's making sense.
Even is that an accurate representation of Matt Walsh's arguments? Because I believe he's a Roman Catholic. So yes. I think Matt Walsh gives these arguments for a broader audience, right? Who may or may not have his religious worldview, but his religious worldview is similar to Daniel's, then it's inherently against God's creation and plan. So it's evil.
But Daniel is saying, Daniel would say, then be a goddamn Roman Catholic and say that. That's what Daniel was saying. Daniel said, you're trying to appeal to a broader audience, so you're giving up on, God, this is God's command argument, and you're jumping on a different, these are liberal arguments. This harm reduction attitude is a liberal argument. So you will eventually lose if you do that. Right. So Daniel is like, if you're a Roman Catholic, then be a goddamn Roman Catholic and say that
with
God
your chest.
Daniel is trying to get conservatives of all religions to unite and just say that enough with this degeneracy. Not to do harm reduction, not to argue based on liberals, don't play their game, don't enter their world. We have God, they would say, we have God on our side. What else do you goddamn need? What else do you need?
The brother has a very good point.
But by the way, guys, it's important to understand these points, because this is only going to get bigger. So for us to be able to tackle conservatives, we need to understand the conversations they're having with and against each other. So
they are just are completely on board with the LGBT agenda. They are just
I love how he made LGBT rainbow. I must say that's cute.
Are completely on board with the LGBT agenda. They are just a few years behind in what they're promoting. This is how they are trying to neutralize Andrew Tate. And it happens through this massive pressure.
Okay, but I have a question. Who is the controlled opposition? Who is putting the controlled opposition in place?
Well, I mean, if I say that, then YouTube might think I'm saying that, so I'm not going to say it.
But
you
is
know
Daniel
what?
saying that?
Yes, of course.
Do you think
I
he's
mean,
actually saying that?
Oh yeah. So of course the global
Does he go
order.
full JQ? Full JQ?
Yeah, of course, of course. It's the global order. Yeah. I mean, how could you not say that as a conservative? That's like the main thing conservatives agree upon.
What's with that? Sorry, what?
This is why Ben Shapiro is having such a hard time making it into conservative circles.
I know.
Yeah.
Especially because he runs like a conservative media conglomerate.
Right, exactly.
In the media, this is a problem. Guys, Habibis, this is a problem.
Yeah. Wait, I can't wait to hear what Andrew Tate thinks. Oh, you know what drama is coming? What? You know what drama is coming? I am predicting this right now. Next person that gets to talk to Andrew Tate, please ask Andrew Tate's opinion about Israel. That will be like whatever he says is going to cause a lot of drama and infighting within the Muslim community.
But why would someone ask him that?
Just to cause this drama. To see what, just so that Andrew Tate's response is on record for Muslims. If he says something that Muslims like, then that's actually a bigger deal because the backlash from the rest of the world will be huge against Andrew Tate. But if he says something that is more accepting on mainstream media, then holy crap, then Daniels will be out there with their pitchforks. So that will be, I can't wait. Does Daniel
does he really go full JQ? Like for real? Does he really go full JQ?
Oh, for sure.
Oh no. I don't know why I expected better.
Why would do you know all these what's Ben Shapiro's media wire?
The Daily Wire. The Daily Wire.
The Daily Wire. Yeah. So the hate against Jordan Peterson from Muslims started because he went to the Daily Wire.
Oh my
because that's a Jewish run media. So that's when people started turning. A lot of Muslims started turning on Ben Shapiro.
Hold on.
Disgusting stuff. Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do. And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.